Welcome to another episode of Asexualized, my asexual life, and happy Asexual Awareness Week. I will be doing another video later on this evening around 11 p.m. GMT time, which is going to be especially for Asexual Awareness Week. But today, at this time of day, I wanted to give you a catch up with what's happening in my asexual dating life and give you a very valuable tip, which is to value your worth and to walk away sooner rather than later. So if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, please hit the great big subscribe button now. Please hit that bell icon so you get notified of every time I post a new video or go live like I'm doing now. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up throughout the video if you're enjoying it, think it's useful, helpful or insightful. I am Sandra Bellamy. I'm the author of Asexual Perspectives, founder of asexualise.com and founder of Asexualise Academy. So, dating, relationships, asexuality, let's discuss valuing your worth and learning to walk away sooner rather than later. Now, you may have known, if you've been following my channel, that I did have a date on Friday night with a foreign guy. I said it was the most amazing date I'd ever had because there were lots of components I liked about it. But then the next day, earlier on in in the early hours of the morning when I got back, after a while, I started coughing and my chest got really bad. My throat got really sore. It's still sore now. I'm still suffering because the guy smoked. And I don't smoke. I never wanted a smoker. I didn't realise he smoked till I met him on the date. And I think the kissing euphoria just took over and the adrenaline was rushing and I didn't even feel affected by it when I was kissing him, when I was with him. But when I got home, I was nearly being sick in the sink. And my throat and chest is so bad from it. And I told him that I couldn't be with a smoker because it affects my health, obviously. I can hear it now still. My chest is bad. Oh, sorry. And see what I mean? I've got like a smoker's cough. I don't even smoke. And so it was really, really bad. And so I said I couldn't be with him. And I'd have to cancel the date. I said, because obviously you can't stop smoking. And then he turned around and said to me, well, I'd like to stop because, you know, I like you so much, basically. And I want to see you. So I'll let you know before Friday if I can stop and see you. But then there was text backwards and forwards and I said that I was really bad and everything. And he was asking me if I was all right. And then I had, a missed call and text from him, so I phoned which was the day before yesterday, but I didn't realise because I switched my phone off the rest of that day. So I phoned him back yesterday and gave him a text. He phoned me back and gave me a text, and then I was like, well, he said, you got your phone switched off. I'm like, yeah, because I was doing work. And I waited for half an hour for him to speak to me. Now, I know he has his phone on him 24/7. He did when he was with me. He always has it switched on, just in case someone rings him. So he could have replied within half an hour, and he didn't. So I had to get on with my work, and I always switch my phone off when I do that because I can't concentrate else, because I've got social media stuff going off on it, and I just need to be focused and not distracted. And he knows that I work later anyway. Anyway, it's about 9:15. I said, oh, you can phone me now in 15 minutes if you want when I finished eating. And at 9:27, sent me a text basically saying he was tired and all the rest of it, which means he's not that bothered. You know, what guy goes to bed at 9:27 in the evening? I would like to call you, but I'm going to sleep now. I will call you tomorrow. Have a good night. I mean, seriously, I mean, his texts in other times were in the middle of the night, some of them, you know what I mean, when we were first met. So that usually means I watched other channels. And usually if a guy texts that he's going to bed at that time, yeah, early, too tired basically to ring, usually means they got another woman. In the very least, he obviously is not that interested in me. He's making out when he was with me that he's really keen on me, but that text tells you that he's not. I mean, you know, it's like not even 9:30 and he's saying he's going to sleep. It's just ridiculous. And if you really want to call someone and you really love them, like, he was using the word love, not me, on the first date. You know, men say a lot of rubbish. I'm not saying all the men that watch this channel talking rubbish. I'm saying heterosexual guys that I've got experience of, they talk a load of rubbish. Because obviously they want sex with you a lot of the time, because he's not asexual, as far as I know, he's heterosexual. And so Do you know what I mean? This is the type of thing they do, you know, because basically, yeah, but it's a sign they may have another woman anyway, so I'm not interested in that, right? So I just cut it straight away because I don't want to have this going on any longer. I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to wait for him to phone me back the next day because I value my worth. He's no good for me if he's doing that. I'm actually ill from his passive, like, smoking. Not that it's his fault. I'm not blaming him for that. But if he was that worried about my health, he would have actually rung me as well. But it's just rubbish. You know, I have guys in foreign countries that stay up till 2 or 3 in the morning for me. And he's saying he's going to sleep at 9:26. And normally, like I said, I watched a dating coach and they said if they say they're going to bed and it's like that time, it usually means they got another woman. Because they don't want to speak to you because they're with the other woman. That's why they say they're going to sleep. Or they could be bored in the relationship is another thing. Or they just don't make you a priority. They're not bothered. They can't be bothered with you, in other words. So I've put, no need to ring me or message me anymore at all. Friday I will not meet you. I need a strong guy who makes me a priority in his life and is attentive at all times, including when we are apart. So I wish you lots of luck in finding a British woman for you. Take care. That was at 9:38 last night. Right, and before I went on this live stream, he just messaged me back, which I didn't expect to get a message back from him. But he goes, oh, good afternoon. This is your decision and I respect it. I wish you a happy life. Goodbye. And of course, he's going to take the easy way out. If he was really interested in me, he'd say, hang on a minute, I am that strong guy. And I'm sorry for any confusion or whatever. Or he'd say, I am that strong guy. I need to step up to the plate, basically. But he's not, because he's not that bothered. You see, when a guy is trying to have a get-out clause, like the going to sleep early, because he's not that bothered about you, then you instead of him, like, saying stuff like that and you waiting for him to leave you or the situation escalating to he's not that bothered, you're chasing after him. You don't bother with a guy like that. Similarly, if it was a woman, you don't bother with them. You realise that your worth is far more important than that person. They can't match your needs and give you what you want. There's plenty of other people in the world that can. So you just, you know, cut your losses quickly. Don't, you know, be with a guy like that. Because the right guy, he will either step up to the plate and think, God, I didn't realise I wasn't being the guy she needed me to be. And I was being not strong. I was being a weak guy and step up to the plate. Or they will just go from your life. And if they go from your life, you know that they're not good enough for you in the first place. They might be good for someone else, but they're not good enough for you because they can't match your needs. So I wasn't going to reply, and then I felt like I do want to reply to that because I kind of wanted to get stuff off my chest, and I know I'm not going to be with him, and I could have just left it with him saying goodbye. But I thought, no, actually, I want to tell him exactly how I want a relationship to be and why I deserve it. And I just... You know, I could have just left it and said nothing and had the power of silence, because the power of silence with a guy is really, really strong. And sometimes that's best. Hey, Ayub, nice to see you. Thanks for tuning in. So I could have just left it when he said, I wish you a happy life, goodbye, because he's respecting my decision because he doesn't want to be the guy for me that I need, because he can't be, because he's not a strong guy. He's a weak guy, really. Do you know what I mean? He's one of these guys that tells you what you want to hear on the night, but doesn't actually produce the fruits of his words. So, you know, they say actions speak louder than words. If the person, female, male, or whatever gender it is, if they're telling you, I love you, you know, I'm crazy about you, all the rest of it, when they're with you, and then when they're not seeing you, they're not bothered, it's obvious it's mostly going to be sexual attraction in the moment, because they're getting kisses out of you, in my case, or if you're with someone who's sexual and having sex with you, it's because they want the sex. Do you know what I mean? A person who loves you and is truly crazy about you, want to share their life and world with you and want to talk to you in the daytime and the evening, want you to be in their life, you know, talk to you about various things. They won't just want someone to hang out with as a now and again. Do you know what I mean? I know for some asexuals that could get confusing, because asexuals tend to like hanging out, don't we? We tend to like hanging out, doing activities and stuff like that. But that is more, when you've got sexual involved, that is more like could be having an asexual friend with benefits to them. So you've got to be careful that sexuals don't use you to fill in their time when they're bored. Does that make sense? Because they could be going after lots of, say it was heterosexual guys, they could be going after lots of women for sex, but they could have you every so often just to go out with, to please their fact they're bored and they've got nothing better to do with their time because they're not living a really happy, fulfilling life full of everything they want to. And so when you happen to be free, they're just like, oh yeah, let's hang out together. And the asexuals really enjoying that because they like hanging out. They don't want the sex, but really the sexual's not that into them. Do you see what I mean? You've got to be very, very careful with asexual relationships and friendships that you're not getting into that trap. You don't want to be the asexual friends with asexual benefits for the sexual. Do you see what I'm saying? You deserve more than that. You know, if you want a relationship with that person and not just a friendship, you know, you want an actual relationship with them and they're not giving you what you want, your needs, just because you don't want sex or for whatever reason, they're just not good enough for you. That's okay to walk away. You don't need to be in that person's life to hang out with, because there's plenty of other actual asexuals that hang out with you, or even sexuals that respect you more. Do you see what I mean? So I had a good date with this guy on the night, as you know. I'm not going to retract that. There was better things about this guy than there was with some of the guys I've previously been out with. You know, he was intelligent. I loved the kissing. But I can get a younger, better looking guy than him, to be quite honest, anyway. And I know that because I know he's older than I usually go for. And I know that he's not specifically my type. He's my type in terms of short, dark hair, clean shaven, foreign. But his skin's quite white, actually. It's not that dark. And, you know, it's not that coloured. I like coloured skin. And he looks older. Do you know what I mean? So I know that I can get someone else, and I could get, you know, I could get a younger guy who looked far better looking, to be honest. But looks isn't everything, you know. I liked the fact he was intelligent to talk to and stuff like that, and you know, and he kind of seemed really into kissing me, and that was good, you know. So, you know, and he was good with dancing. His eyes were on my eyes. They weren't on my boobs or anything. They were looking into my eyes. So I had a nice time with him, actually. Like I said, I'm not going to take that back, but you know, there's obviously things that weren't good. There was a fact that he said about that if I ever met his sister, I had to pretend I didn't know him. I mean, that I told him I wouldn't stand for it. I'm like, no, if you want to be with a British woman and you want to be with me, then you have to, you know, you can't do that. You have to, you should be telling the whole world. Because he was saying, don't forget, I know that a lot of guys tell lies, right? He said immediately he loves me, which is a red flag, okay? That is one huge red flag that he was doing. And I know foreign guys enough to know that most of them say that in the heat of the moment, because they're so in love with the moment and how I make them feel, how lovey-dovey the whole romance thing is. They say I love you. They don't really mean it. But I know that now, you know? I'm tougher than I used to be in that way. I used to take things at face value all the time. When someone said, I love you, I honestly thought they meant it. Honestly thought they meant it. I don't say things like, I might say lots of love or stuff like that at the end of a text, but I don't say the words I love you unless I actually mean them. There's no point. Do you know what I mean? And so when he was going, I love you, Sandra, I love you, I kind of loved it because I love hearing that accent and my name, to be quite honest. It's very asexually turning on. It's very stimulating for me. I love it. It's really nice because I love foreign accents. But I knew he was probably talking a load of rubbish. Now, a guy who really loves you doesn't behave like that, do they? Not you know, not even bothering to ring you because they're too tired. So anyway, I did message him back and I put, yes, it is my decision. But as I am a good woman, it's obvious I need a strong guy for me. I need a guy who makes me a priority in his life. A guy who truly loves me, who is my bestest friend, not just someone to meet up with and go out with sometimes. I want and deserve someone who wants to talk to me regularly, day and night, and who puts me first. And a guy to share his life and world with me. And talk to me and message me every day throughout the day. Lots of communication is essential in a healthy relationship. I need someone who wants to be emotionally close to me always, even when apart. This is the type of quality guy I deserve, as I am not like other women, and I am a quality woman who is worth more than you are able to give me. Outside the theme, I think the blue is very beautiful on you. Oh, thank you, Ayub. Yeah, it goes really well with my eyes, doesn't it? My hair, don't you think? This is actually My asexual t-shirt. It's my own design. No, not t-shirt, hoodie. It says everything's coming up aces. Look. I like hoodies. Whee! Thank you. It's really sweet of you. Yeah, I love the colour. Oh, thanks, you. That's what I mean. I've got people like you saying nice words to me. Why do I need this guy? Can't be bothered with me. Can't be bothered with him anymore. So, yeah, so I put, I'll read that last bit back. This is a type of quality guy deserves. I'm not like other women, and I'm a quality woman who is worth more than you're able to give me. I normally say girl in general, but when I'm talking to a guy like him, he's 37 years old, and I'm talking serious business like this, it's better to put the word woman. It sounds better. So I haven't put the word girl, I've put the word woman. But he sounded like a teenager anyway, whenever he was with me, which was true. Because you like teenager music, you're like a teenager woman, but he loved that about me, so that was cool. So I put, you can't match my needs because you don't truly love me. It's awesome. Oh, thank you. You can't match my needs because you don't truly love me. A guy who loves a woman is crazy for her when apart. He wants to talk with her and tell her about his day and be in her life always and treat her like his best friend. I wish you lots of love, health and happiness always. And that's what I've put. So I could have just said nothing to his text, but I wanted to because I kind of wanted to get all this off my chest. I haven't done it for him's benefit very much. I've done it for mine, but it does explain what a woman expects because he wants to be with a British woman, right? If he wants to be with a British woman, he's Iranian, he's going to have to get used to our culture being different, and the women in Britain do have different expectations. Like, we are a lot more independent. We're not like at home being a housewife. We have our own businesses, or we go out to work, you know. We have our own lives, do you know what I mean? You know, I can't always message him back there and then, or phone him back there and then, but you make sure you try and make time for each other and put effort in, do you know what I mean? So I wanted to do it for 2 reasons. One's for my benefit because I need to clear my chest of my head, you know what I mean? Clear my head of all these thoughts. So I did it. You could argue that it would be more powerful if I had just left his message when he said, you know, he respects my decision, and left it at that, because I could have done. But I wanted to just do all this back because I feel good now that I've got everything out in the open to the world, planet and universe. I kind of feel like it's an energy that I've put out into the world, that this is the type of guy I need and you're not that type of guy. But I feel like writing it down, it really explains to him, because his English isn't great, but he can read well, but he said he can't speak that well, but he can read and understand things. So I think it's really good for him to see this, because it probably will help him with other women in the future, you know? Because, I mean, I actually thought we had the potential, me and him, to be really good best friends, because the way he was talking, I mean, he was planning our whole future. It's going, oh, I want to go here with you. I'll book us into a 5-star hotel. I can get us a separate room, or we can have twin beds if you want. And he was talking about where he wants to go to. He goes, I want to go to Torquay, and then I want to go to Scotland. I want to go to Plymouth. And he was like planning all our future together, which is like, do you know what I mean? That's what I mean. Some guys are totally crazy. You know, you're with them and they're planning your whole future together on the first date. Yet when they're apart from you, it's like they're not bothered about you. That is not a guy who loves you and treats you consistently and has your best interests at heart. Or if it's a woman doing that to you, do you see what I mean? It's inconsistent. You don't have a guy, you know, I wasn't doing that. He was doing that. He was saying all about this stuff he was going to do with me. I want to go here. And I said, look, I need to get to know you first. I've only just met, because he said I get bored really easily, which I do understand, because I get bored really easily. But is he the type of guy that gets bored so easily, it means that he would easily go with another woman? Because guys who are into adventure and get bored easily can also tend to, you know, wane in a relationship and go off the relationship. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you're liking the content. So always value your worth more than the person who so-called says they love you. If they are saying one thing, yet their actions are completely the opposite, or, you know, then they're not consistent. They're not being genuine, are they? I mean, he was the one saying, oh, I love you, Sandra. I really love you. Look, I mean it with my heart and all the rest of it. He was the one who was making plans of all the different places we were going to go together. This is on the first date. He did all that. I didn't say, but I was, you know, I wanted to see how serious he was. So I said, okay, well, then you should meet my parents, yeah? And I said, oh, I should meet your sister. And this is when he said, yeah, but if you meet my sister, you've got to pretend you don't know me. I'm not going to put up with that. What quality adult woman or person would actually hide themselves away from being someone's girlfriend or partner in front of the family member? What British woman would do that? An insane one who was just after sex. That's the only British woman that would do that. If someone wants a life partner and wants them to be together in a relationship, if that's what he truly wants, he can't go round hiding a British woman. I'm like, why? He goes, oh, because my mum wants me to marry someone in my country. I said, well, what do you want? He goes, I want a British woman because I'm attracted to British women. I don't want someone in my country. He doesn't want kids, which is, you know, he goes, I want a travel buddy, someone I can go travelling with. I said, well, I don't go travelling abroad, but in this country's fine. You know, so it was kind of like, you know, if he's not going to be strong in sticking up to his mother, I do understand different cultures, but this guy's 37 years old, yeah? He's nearly 40 years old. You know, he's older than I will normally go for. It's not like he's a child anymore. I mean, his mum kind of must have twigged by now that if he's nearly 40 years old, it's not really normal for a guy, even in a foreign country, to be that old and not actually have a girlfriend or partner. Do you know what I mean? It's really bizarre. Wouldn't you think that as parents, if you're a foreign parent? It's pretty obvious that something's not quite normal in the way of normality, is it? That's why when he said to me, oh, I'm not bothered about sex, which I do think he would, you know, if I'd have wanted sex that night, I'm sure he would have done that with me, even though I didn't, because when we were in the car and we were kissing in the car, I was kissing his chest, which I didn't mind doing. I said, I'll kiss his chest. But he was on about doing other stuff. And I'm like, no, that's it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing anything to your bottom half, mate. Nothing. You know, I'm not interested in that. So what I'm saying is make sure you value your worth and you walk away sooner rather than later. If a guy's showing signs that, or female, or anyone you're with is showing signs that they are not consistent and that, you know, it doesn't matter what they said to you the night before or what stuff they said, you know, it's just words if the rest of their actions are not consistent with it. So I hope this has been useful, helpful, insightful for you. I like to read my text messages out to you so you know what the type of thing I am writing back to them in case you end up in situations like this yourself. And just please remember, do not end up being an asexual friend who's an asexual friend with benefits to a sexual person. As in, they're being selfish and they're just seeing you when they're bored. Do you know what I mean? Not because they really care about you. That's what I'm trying to say to you. I mean, if you're all right with that, go for gold. But, you know, if you've got self-respect and self-worth, you don't want to be wasting your precious time with a sexual who's just using you because they're bored. Or, you know, or because, you know, they haven't actually got a sexual person around at the moment. Do you see what I'm saying? You know your worth, value your worth. And, you know, move on because life's so short. My life's ticking away. I can never get the seconds back that's just gone like you can't. And if we're wasting our time with people like that, yeah, they might be all right on the night and you might have a great time with them. But going forward, if you persist in a relationship or some sort of thing with them, it's just going to go, you know, when they're not that bothered about you, it's not going to get any better. They're not going to change overnight. Unless they actually are made of the tough stuff. So yeah, and if someone won't add you on social media as well, it's not a good sign. I remember when I first met him, I said, oh, you can add me on Facebook. Oh, I don't use Facebook. Well, it's got pictures from years ago on there, I think he said. And I'm thinking, that's a big sign. When someone won't add you on social media, it's obviously they got stuff to hide. So I'm better off out of that one. But it's sad in a way because I did like him quite a bit, but not enough to put his worth over mine, I tell you. And I'm sure there's plenty of other guys. I mean, actually, I got an email from a guy who watches this channel who's not asexual. And it was like, he was saying, oh, yeah, by the way, you are very attractive. You know what I mean? And he watches this channel and he emailed me about something to do with one of the videos. And he put this in brackets, by the way, you are very attractive. So I'm not surprised these guys say stuff to you. to let you think a certain way, basically. And I'm like, I said, oh, well, thank you for the nice compliment. Do you know what I mean? I said, you don't happen to be younger, foreign, in the UK, do you? A person who doesn't actually mind not having sex and doesn't mind not being nude. Oh dear, it's funny. But you see what I mean? There's other guys that find me attractive. I don't need this guy when there's other guys around. Do you know what I mean? I mean, if he can go out sex, I'm sure some other people can. You know, I don't believe he probably would be able to go out sex for all his life. I think that's probably just him saying it, really. But who knows? Anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you for now. I have got another video live stream for you tonight. That's 11 p.m. GMT time tonight. Greenwich Mean Time. That's UK time. So it'll be around 11 p.m. tonight. Don't forget to tune in. Do not miss it. It's another Asexual Awareness Week video. And till next time, later on, embrace your quirky and each other's. Thank you for watching. Thank you everyone else who's tuned in. I really appreciate that. Thanks. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Oh, thanks, Martin. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it, if you haven't already. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the bell icon to get notified of every time I go live or post a new video. And I will see you later on tonight, hopefully. Don't forget to tune in. Bye.